How's it going, guys? My name's Rami, and welcome back to yet another episode of Arky's Garage. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. It's so great to see you. I really hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button if you really like what you see. And if you are a returning subscriber, it's so great to see you. Thank you for your support. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 5 most important things you should be having in your car at all times. I surveyed so many people, I've done a lot of research, and I've come up with my own list of the top 5 things you should have in your car at all times. It's the 21st century. We are living in a new day and age where some things in the past might not work in today's world. So, I'm going to give you the top 5 things you should always need in your car at all times. All right, so coming in at number 5, I believe the 5th most important thing you should have in your car at all times, and it's in my trunk, are jumper cables. And let me tell you why. So let me give you my example. I currently drive a 14-year-old car. And with that old car, I mean, it's got an older battery and it's draining so much power from all the technology. I never know if I could wake up in the morning and have a dead battery. So it's always important to have jumper cables in my trunk just in case I need it. Or even if a friend has a dead battery, I am always there to help out no matter where we are. And I'm not saying if you have an older car, you're more prone to having a dead battery. This could even happen to brand new cars. Even just having one interior light or your headlights on could potentially drain the battery. Now, of course, new technology and new cars, they can automatically turn that stuff off, but it's always a possibility. It's really important to have jumper cables because you never know if you need help or you need to help someone. So, number 5. So the number 4 thing you should have in your car at all times in my list is going to be a snow brush and an ice scraper. And here's why. I live in Ohio, and in Ohio, we get snow. Whether you're in the Midwest, on the East Coast, and honestly, sometimes on the West Coast, or even across the world, you're gonna have snow, and it's gonna come up on your car, and you're gonna need something to brush it off. If you don't live in a very snowy area in the winter times, maybe you live in a place that gets more rain, an umbrella is gonna be a great substitute to have in your car at all times. I actually have both, so in the winter, I put the snow brush in the trunk, and I put the umbrella in the passenger seat area, and in the winter I put the umbrella in the trunk and I put the snow brush in the passenger seat area. I always have those two rotating at all times, but this one in my opinion is much more important because in the winter time, which happens probably half of the year here in Ohio, this is going to be really important to brush off all that snow and more importantly scrape off all that ice, because we've all been there where we have so much ice on our windshield we can't see anything and we can't wait for the defroster to take its time. We gotta take action. So, the snow brush, ice scraper / umbrella is number 4. Number 3, a charger. And before we talk about why we need a charger in our cars at all times, a sub to the channel would be electric. So, talking about chargers. Now, I'm not saying that we need to charge our phones if we're playing phone games, if we're listening to Spotify playlists, but let's face it, it's 2021. Everyone has a cell phone. And if you break down on the side of the road or you need someone to call, well, hello, you gotta charge your phone for it. We all have battery anxiety. We all get stressed out about having low battery if we're going on a road trip or if we're leaving the house. So having a charger in the car is honestly essential these days. And of course, depending on your phone, whether you have an iPhone or an Android phone, actually comment below, what kind of phone do you have? You might need a lightning cable or a USB-C cable to always have in your car to keep your phone charged at all times. Nonetheless, number 3 is probably one of the most essentials, and in today's age, it's super important. All right, well, welcome inside my car, but the number 2 on this list is a pen and paper. Oh, well, so okay, a pen and paper. Let me tell you why. And again, I'm talking about the 5 most important things you should have in your car, so you never know what could happen. Let's say you just witnessed an accident and you need to write down, people's contact information, the license plate numbers. Hello, a pen and paper is going to be essential. I mean, you could essentially do it on the Notes app in your phone, but this is much easier, it's much faster, and honestly, it's more reliable because your pen and paper won't die. Nonetheless, you never know when you can need to write down information really quickly, whether you're on a phone call and you got to write down an address, whether you're driving around and you need to know kind of like a map of the streets you're at. It's always important to have pen and paper in your car. I mean, you can throw this in your glove box and you'll never ever notice it's there. It's not going to take up any space. It's really easy. And again, we all need it. So that's my number 2 on my list is pen and paper. And before we get to the number one most important thing that you should have in your car at all times, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. So the number one most important thing you need to have in your car at all times is cash. Now, a great question to ask yourself is, why would we need cash in our cars at all times? When we use Apple Pay, we use Google Pay, we use our credit cards to get the most points as possible to help with our credit scores. Well, you never know the situation you could be in. Cash is king. Why? Because it's readily available at all times. I mean, so are credit cards, you could say, Rami, but you never know what could happen. You lost your wallet, you need to pay for a parking meter, you need to go to a gas station and you just have quick cash on you. It's always super important to have cash in your car. I mean, I know I have around $30 in here, but with some change, maybe $35. I have quarters, I have dimes, I have nickels, pennies, because I mean, who cares about pennies? But I have cash at my car at all times because you never know the situation that you could be in. And before we close out this video, I just wanted to give you some honorable mentions. A bag, water, this is water, fancy water, and hand sanitizer. That's just some honorable mentions that I thought about that could be on this list, but to be honest with you, my top 5 most important things I believe everyone should have in their cars at all times. And you know the deal. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to RQ's Garage and you like what we do here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new videos coming out every week. If you want to get more of behind the scenes and more questions that I follow up with, come hang out with me on Instagram. I made a new Instagram page called RQ's Garage. Real simple, just like the YouTube channel. So come follow me there if you want some more behind the scenes content. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Rami and this is RQ's Garage, and we'll see you on the next one.